Rock is 65 feet tall. And then across from High Rock on our left, that rock formation is Romance Cliff, and it is 75 feet. And they actually, this one kind of looks like a gigantic stack of pancakes. That's called Chimney Rock, named because of its resemblance to the stick and mortar chimneys that were used by early planners. And that rock formation is formed from differential erosion, which comes from wind, water, and frost. And then keep scanning the right-hand side of the boat. Up in front of us, you're going to see a bare opening of rock among the trees. And this rock formation kind of looks like the side profile of a person's face. His most prominent feature is his nose. That's the portion of rock that kind of sticks out from the rest. And then above and below that, there are slits to resemble the eyes and mouth. That's called Black Hawk's profile, named after Chief Black Hawk. He was the Native American leader of the Fox and Sauk tribes. Now, just a little bit about these rock formations. All the rocks that we'll see along today's tour are made of Potsdam or Cambrian sandstone. And this kind of sandstone is only found in 4 places in the world. So don't take it for granted. Get it? I got plenty more jokes coming, don't worry. The 4 places that you can find this sandstone are Potsdam, Germany, Zurich, Switzerland, upstate New York, and then of course right here in the house. And this sandstone is really soft. Actually, if you had a piece of it in your hand, you'd easily be able to crumble it and return it back to sand. It's also really porous. It kind of works like a sponge because it absorbs a lot of moisture, and that allows trees to grow directly from the rock with little to no topsoil. So the trees that grow from the rock secrete their roots about 50 feet into the rock. And since the rock absorbs so much moisture, it also creates a cooling effect. Kind of works like a natural air conditioning. So at any given point when you are on the dells of the Wisconsin River, the temperature will drop about 5 degrees. And then when you get to our first stop today, which is Gulch, you'll notice the temperature drops 10 to 15 degrees. So you can all call yourselves some of the coolest people in the dells. You'll also see the General Bailey on our left. Feel free to give Bo and Stacy a wave hello. But as you pass by, know that you guys are really good at time management because you all came on the best looking boat for the best looking crew. Now I also like to direct your attention to the water. So take a look at the water and notice its color. You're going to notice the river is quite brown. So oftentimes people make the assumption that this river is really dirty. However, the Wisconsin River is actually incredibly clean. The brown color comes from something called tannin or tannic acid, which comes from the sap of the tamarack tree. So this river, it flows through a series of tamarack swamps just north of here. And I know tannic acid, it might sound like something that's really harmful. It's not. It's completely harmless. In fact, I'm willing to bet many of you have already consumed tannic acid today. If you had any coffee, tea, or Coca-Cola, you've already consumed tannic acid. The brown color in those drinks comes from tannic acid, but if you look at the ingredients list, it won't say that. It will say caramel coloring. That caramel coloring is indeed from tannic acid. Also looks like we have an eagle off to our left. So look off to the left, you'll see that pontoon boat. Straight up from that pontoon boat in the tallest tree, sitting on the bare branch, there's a long eagle. Notice that pontoon boat is headed to the left there. That is a channel of the river we call the Old Riverbed. It's about 5 feet deep. Plenty deep enough if you came here on a pontoon or a fishing boat. But the Viking, it drafts 6 feet. That means it needs 6 feet of water to travel. So we're not going to take that path. We're going to take the path ahead of the boat called the Narrows. And the Narrows is 90 feet deep. And the Narrows and the Old Riverbed form a 210-acre island. This is called Black Hawk's Island on our left. And Black Hawk's Island is home to every tree species native to the state of Wisconsin. So it's used for a lot of research purposes. It's by the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So in the school year, college students will come out on the island, and then during the summer, different camps, so 4-H troops, Girl Scout and Boy Scout troops will also come and explore the island. Protruding from the island, so on the left, we call them the Twin Sisters. So at our 9 o'clock position, that's Kate. Get it? Kate and Duplicate. Across from Duplicate, off to the right, looks like you'll see a paddle boat there. That little inlet on the right, that's called Chapel Gorge, named because of its church-like setting. People tell me that would be a good spot to have a wedding, and I agree, it's beautiful, but I wouldn't get married there. As they say, any marriage that starts on the rocks ends on the rocks. All right, I'm gonna head to the top deck right now. So bottom deck, I'll see you all a little bit later, and top deck, I will see you all in a minute. All right, now many of you might know the state of Wisconsin for our brats, beer, cheese, the Packers, but before Wisconsin was known for that, we were actually known for our lumber industry. So people known as lumber raftsmen, they would float these really large lumber rafts down the river, and they'd sell their lumber along the way. And as those raftsmen made their journey down the river, the most difficult part for them was actually straight ahead of the boat. So if you take a look ahead of us where this pontoon boat is, it kind of looks like the river comes to a dead end. However, as you might have noticed, the river does take a sharp turn to the left. So this was a really common spot where raftsmen would collide with rocks along the shoreline, rafts would break up, and sometimes raftsmen would lose their lives here. So for that reason, this 90-degree turn ahead of the boat got the nickname the Devil's Elbow. And there was a man by the name of Leroy Bates who was really good at navigating the Devil's Elbow. So he was called a standing river pirate. And he would hop onto lumber raftsmen as they came by, and he would help them navigate through the Devil's Elbow. And he actually left us his business card. He carved an inscription in the rocks. So if you take a look on the left-hand side, you'll see the rock with the shadows from the tree on it. There's 2 lines of inscription. It says from 1849 to 58.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Looks like most of us are able to see it here, so that's good. I know it's kind of weathered away, it's a little tricky to see, so he did not get a glade. He loved the river so much, so he actually started Yellowstone tours. But his boat tours were a little different from the tour that we're all on right now, because if you were to take his boat tour, you'd actually have to go to his private boat dock, give him 2
That'd be so fun to jump off. Oh no.
It's good.
This is kind of sketchy. It's like really scary. Oh my gosh. God, this is terrifying. That looks really partial. How are you enjoying the tour?
Good.
That's it?
It's nice.
Are you scared of rocks?
No. Are you scared?
Are you scared of this bridge that could like potentially just fall on us?
It'd be awesome. That smells fresh water.
Oh my gosh, you're shaking this thing. Fast forward.
Gotta get back in like 10 minutes already.
I wish I was in front.
Oh.
Aaron,
Yeah.
how are you enjoying the tour so far?
I like it.
That's it? Wow. So natural here. How are you enjoying the tour? How are you enjoying the tour?
So we just went on a tour. We're on our first stop, the first walk. You can see some waterfall. Damon's got popcorn. And I'm sitting here just talking. That's it.
It kind of looks like a mushroom. It is 47 feet tall. That gap over to Stand Rock is 5.5 feet. That's what the dog's gonna jump across. I will warn you before we see the dog jump, all right? Before we do though, I wanna tell you a little bit about why on earth we even have a dog jump. So Stand Rock here was made famous by a photographer of the name Henry Hamilton Bennett, or sometimes we call him H.H. Bennett. And he was a photographer here in the 1880s. And at that time, in order to take a photo, people would have to remain still for about 5 minutes. Otherwise, the photo would not have enough time to develop. However, Bennett wanted to change this, so he actually invented what he called the snapper, or what we refer to as the instantaneous shutter. And he made that camera out of a cigar box and rubber bands. And it allowed him to take pictures of things in motion. And so to test out his camera that he made, he actually brought it over here to Stand Rock. He stood up on that rock ledge behind you, and then Bennett sent his 14-year-old son to the top of Stand Rock, and he did what any good father would do. He told his son to jump, and he made his son make the jump over to Stand Rock a total of 17 times, until eventually he got this photo in front of you. He got that photo in the year 1886, so really impressive. People saw that photo, they wanted to come see Stand Rock for themselves. So that's why we call Stand Rock the trademark of the Dells. It's a really famous photo. It's currently on display in the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. It's a really famous picture. You are all gonna have the chance to recreate the photo. That's why we have our dog jump. So our dog's gonna jump over to Stand Rock and then come back. I will warn you, it does happen kind of fast. So I personally would recommend that you take a video, because you can always get a screenshot to get your photo later. I will give you a second to get your cameras out and ready, and when it looks like everyone's ready, I will let them know what to do. Does anyone need more time? Okay, we are ready. Let's give it up for Bennett. So you all just saw Bennett. He is a blue heeler. Is anyone familiar with the show Bluey? Yeah. It's the same kind of dog as Bluey is, so a blue heeler is what it's. All right, couple things before we continue our walk here. So you're gonna follow this green railing. At the top of the walk, there are concessions and restrooms. If you don't need any concessions, all the things that you're going to want to see, so all the other rock formations and that overlook of the river, is past the concession stand. So keep walking past the concession stand. That's where the pathway continues. There's lots of things to see. The only thing I asked of you is please don't climb on the rocks or carve into the rocks. I don't see that being an issue. I'm just required to ask that of you. You're going to follow this green railing. So whenever you're ready, you guys can continue the walk. Do you travel internationally or
You're just enjoying the view. So it's all there. This is my friend jet skis all the time.
All right, now that we have a working microphone, I want to tell you a little bit about the land around here along the river here. So first, I want to direct your attention to the left. You're going to see a dock there, and there's a staircase. And that staircase, it goes up to Chula Vista. It's actually the only resort on the Upper Hills. So we have a convention center, hotels, water park, and then we're passing by their spa area. It's a beautiful resort. And Chula Vista, it actually translates to mean beautiful view. I'm sure we can agree there is a beautiful view out there. But we're actually really lucky to have this view because if you were here before the Great Depression, instead of seeing trees along the shoreline, you actually would have seen a lot of homes and a lot of businesses along the shoreline. However, that was able to change all because of a man named George Crandall. Crandall, he actually purchased this land along the river for as little as $1 an acre. And then he burnt down and tore down all the buildings, and then he planted thousands upon thousands of trees that you still see here today. He then gave the land that he purchased to his 2 daughters, and they gave the land to the state of Wisconsin. So this land is all being protected as a state natural area. So for the most part, it's off limits to the public. There's not really any hiking trails out here because we want to keep it protected and preserved for many years to come. However, we do like to honor Crandall. So back by the Witch's Gulch, that forest over there, that's actually called the George Crandall Memorial Forest. You'll notice that there's quite a few recreational boats out here, lots of pontoons, fishing boats, jet skis, This is a public waterway, so there's a couple rental companies just upriver. There's a public boat launch, so the waterway's open to the public. All the beaches that you see along the shoreline, those are open to the public. It's just once you hit the vegetation line that becomes off limits and it becomes state owned. A little bit about the fishing boats. You might have seen a couple of fishing boats out there today. There's some pretty good fishing on the upper dells. The lower dells, so below the dam, is also a good spot to go fishing. There's 37 kinds of fish in the Wisconsin River, with the largest fish being the lake sturgeon. The lake sturgeon here can grow to be 7 feet long and over 200 pounds. Pretty big fish. Otherwise, we should be back in about 15 minutes. Top deck, I know I missed you guys for questions, so I'll come up there to answer any questions. Otherwise, enjoy the ride.